12:20. Actually, it's 12:08 in the morning. West Coast time is February 6, 2024. This is in response to Bo of the Fifth Column. Morning, Justin. It's West Coast calling the East Coast regarding the little panic attack of your hurricane warning there. Okay, so you think it's a bad idea? I think it's a better idea. Having not lived through hurricanes, I probably would not know the difference between a 1 through a 5 unless things are really getting that bad, and only if I was looking at the Doppler radar to see what kind of strength we're talking about, not to mention the flooding situation that happens when hurricanes hit, besides the tornado activity happening, the storm surges, everything else happening with us. So yes, I am a complete rookie when it comes down for hurricanes, even though I've been watching weather and trying to study meteorology all my life, trying to be a science geek about things. But never going through it, I wouldn't know. So that's basically your territory because that's it. You know it better than I do. And I tip my hat on that one. However, you think people are going to be that stupid when it comes down to, or actually more stupid, when you hear about a Cat 6 being created. Despite all the evidence being shown to the people at this point over here, they're going to be learning by example at this point. I'm sorry to say it. They're going to be learning it the hard way. You know what scares the hell out of us out here in the West Coasters? The earthquakes. And at this point, they had to dumb down some of the numbers on some of the quakes that we've actually had out here at the West Coast because of insurance companies and the federal government potentially going bankrupt. The damages that we've had in different quakes that we've experienced, we had to dumb down the numbers left and right. Anything above a 7 point and above, automatically Uncle Sam's got to pay for things. There had been rumors regarding the quakes that we've had out here that numbers were fudged, including the 1994 quake. There have been rumors going around if the information was valid or not, but the indications we've been getting is California does and can get 7 point and above. But the numbers are dumbed down to the sixes because of money. Insurance companies don't want to go broke, neither does the federal or state government when it comes down for complete damages. And we've had plenty of damages up in San Francisco, not to mention out here, uh, San Fernando Valley, and extending it way beyond that. We get sevens, but they get them dumbed down a bit. Only if we're talking about massive ones. So I can understand about the money situation. And if we happen to talk about anything beyond a certain level of categories here, now we are talking about finances, aren't we? I'm surprised, and I'm trying to get a scientific. I am trying to get something on my screen here regarding how to explain the categories regarding the hurricanes. And I think simple charts and graphs would help me a great deal on that one because wind speed is a factor, and not to mention if the Earth is warming up more because of human intervention, we definitely need to get the more alert here to tell people what's going on. From what we know currently about the categories, and you hadn't explained that further in the warning here, you know, you don't educate, do you? Category 1, according to information coming from sources and other places, scientists, meteorologists would agree, Category 1 would be between the speed of 74 through 90 miles per hour. We get wind speeds up to miles an hour out the coast. Sometimes, if they're blowing that Santa Ana is coming through passes left and right, and trucks overturned left and right. We haven't had energy coming through. When we have high pressures going through the west end, coming up from Mexico or off the shores into us, we've already got wind speeds hitting. But they're not catastrophic because we don't have the energy out here in the west coast to generate that level. But there is heat energy out there to generate it. We have a cold stream that keeps coming down from the north. They're coming from the Alaskan area all the way down southward. So we got this current. So if we happen to get into any major storms, we're not going to get any Cat 1s. Unless, of course, we get a change in the current and we get the heat energy coming from the latitudes up and hitting us hard. Then we'll get that kind of information. Almost to a Cat 1. People were screaming and yelling that we're going to be getting a Cat 1 or a Cat 2. I'm thinking, no, we're not. Last year, I was trying to talk about this one here, this year and also last year, when the potential hurricane was coming down our pipeline, I knew that we're not going to get that energy because of the cold water. You need heat energy coming from the water to generate that much momentum. And the Caribbean is full of it. If you've already seen the temperatures rising left and right on the damn thing, you ought to realize you guys are going to be foobar left and right. You have to get things updated. You have to get the category updated. If you happen to get well beyond 155 miles per hour in the wind speed, you guys are really in for it. Not to mention having the storm surges left and right flooding out the East Coast, or portions of it anyway, including your territory. You've been living there long enough, you know your territory better. But you're also telling me that the people are that dumb enough that they're not going to realize that anything regarding above a Cat 5 is going to be dangerous enough. And the scientists want to give another category over here to let us know that the weather and times are changing, and we have to adapt or else. We have to adapt out here regarding the earthquake situation. That includes the insurance companies, but the problem is the insurance companies on your end, like on our end, once they start losing money, everything else is a poor bet of trying to beat coverage on everyone else. They can't get enough funding coming into their companies to keep paying out. So it'll shut you guys down left and right. That's the one thing you should have been leading off in the first place. Because they do it over here in the West Coast regarding the damn earthquake insurance. And your hurricane insurance is almost non-existent. The policy is going to be very expensive if you've got anybody to back them up. They didn't say anything about that one in the news media down, did they? Not really. So Cat 1 is between 74 through 95. Storm surges is about 4 to 5 feet. Second category is 96 to 110 miles per hour. Moderate damage on landfall, about 68 feet. Category 3, between 111 through 130 miles per hour, with extensive damage on landfall. Surges about 9 through 12. 4. Category 4 is 131 to 155. Extreme. We're talking well over our heads, boys and girls. 13 through 18 feet. Water that high. Blub, 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 glub, glub, glub. Dead, dead, dead. 5 is anything greater than 155. They're afraid because with all the atmospheric changes happening, all the meteorological changes, all the temperature variance increasing in the water, that's going to be generating more powerful storms. We're not just talking about just for the United States. We're talking about global here. Catch that? Global, not your neighborhood, not just your neighborhood, not just your neighborhood, dude. You've already seen portion. You've already seen the global warming happening when you have Venice flooding out, flooding out. And how many decades we've been seeing this thing gradually increase? Where portions of Italy is sinking? Not funny. Scary, terrifying. Not usual either. How many decades we've had that we've already seen glacial warming happening? We've seen icebergs coming through, drifting down from the north, but also drifting up. That's a lot of freshwater tonnage being added to the ocean waters. And what kind of level are we going to be increasing at this point over here? Yeah, I sound like a damn alarmist at this point over here. And you sounded like a damn alarmist because you didn't think it was necessary because people might not obey to it. Well, they're going to have to. Nature's going to take a baseball bat throw upside our heads on this one. We pissed off Mother Nature. She ain't happy with us. She's already got Pele doing her work with the volcanism going on left and right. Iceland, ring a bell? Not to mention the nice, lovely quakes we've been having these days, left and right. Maybe a bit of volcanism happening out in Hawaii and some of the other areas. Hell, I'm still expecting the Cascades up north of California and Oregon, Washington area. I'm waiting for one or two of those mountains to blow their top off. You want to talk about fear and panic? You want to talk about losing your mind at this point over here and not realizing that we have to change and adapt at this point over here because we're screwing ourselves left and right. But you just don't want to see it. You don't want to. You don't want to see it. You're going to be burying your head in the storm surge. Incredible. It was nice chatting with you. Glub, glub, glub.